So Selena says to me, at least if you finally do it and you leave, you can't be blamed anymore if anything happens with your mom. Which is technically true, but then again, it's not true, and I'll tell you why. Joe said it so profoundly a while back. He's like, you're blamed because you're there, but then if you weren't there, you'd also be blamed. Think about it, people. When I didn't jump for joy at this proposal, what did Auntie say to me? I want to try to make my sister well again. Why can't you just think of your mother for a change instead of yourself? Put your mom first and just, blah, 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 right? So, I leave, which I am going to do. And then my mom, which is her right, decides to come back to her house, her home, since I'm not here. And live alone and not live downstairs with Auntie. And then if anything bad winds up happening while my mom's living here alone, I'll be blamed. See, if Laura had just stayed there and allowed me to keep an eye on my sister, everything would have been fine. I'll never not be blamed. I won't be blamed until I'm 6 feet. No, won't not be blamed until I'm 6 feet under. Or my mom is. Seriously, think about it. You know that's what will happen. Auntie screamed at me when I didn't jump for joy at this, basically calling me selfish. Why don't you, I want to try to make my sister well again. Why do you have to only think about yourself? Blah, 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 blah. I'll still be blamed. But Joe said it a long time, like many, many months ago. He's like, you're blamed if you're there, but if you weren't there, and you'd also be blamed for abandoning your mom and not being there. You see? So I can't win. I mean, technically, Selena says, yeah, you can't be blamed anymore. Because, of course, in that respect, yeah, they can't say you caused it or whatever. But I'm always going to be blamed. I'm blamed for not having the patience of a saint, admittedly, when it came to, I have my own mental problems, admittedly, so when it came to dealing with my mentally ill mother, I'm blamed for not having the patience of a saint. And Joe said before, you're blamed if you're there, but then if you weren't there, you'd also be blamed. I talked about leaving a while back. And Auntie was like, good, Laura, you're going to abandon your mom when she needs you there? I can't win. I can't ever fucking win, people. You understand? I want to try to show you, prove to you, not that it really proves anything, but I am actually packing. Or you could just believe me. It's just if I turn this around and it shows anything incriminating, I don't mean incriminating, I mean that reveals where I live, then that's not good. Well, you're just going to have to take my word for it. I am packing. But no, I got that from Auntie. It's unfortunately among all the texts that got lost in that phone that time when I was all upset over my mom being fucked over by that lawyer and the stupid, you don't hear from her for a month, and then it's you contact her, my mom contacts her just to see, okay, what's going on, are we going to do the medical certificate doctor come over, and then the lawyer's like, coming tomorrow, and if you don't agree with it, I'm going to, threatening my mom, I won't be a lawyer anymore. It's just bullshit. It doesn't give you not even 24 hours notice. Anybody deserves at least 24 hours notice. You didn't contact my mom all this time, and now it's like tomorrow or else, because you know you can walk all over my mom, who's terrified. It just, oh. But anyway, then I can't be here when it's all happening, so I had to leave, and then it just bad. But anyway, as you know, I got drunk and lost my phone, and that was all she wrote, and I had a whole bunch of really good messages, texts from Auntie that I would have liked to have kept forever, or, transcribed somewhere and then deleted, but whatever. But anyway, I've gotten that from Auntie before when I was talking about leaving. Oh, you're going to abandon your mom when she needs you the most, Laura? So... I really can't win, people. Can't win. Can't. Count my losses and leave. Do you think I'll be doing it easily? In any manner whatsoever? No. What am I supposed to do? This last time, I did everything in my power to try to save my mom. And then when I was backed into a corner and felt like I had no choice, and at the time, did I know she was off her meds? Of course not. I was trusting her to take them, but you know what I mean? I had no choice, and the end result is my mom blames me, makes me the scapegoat, viciously turns against me. And since Auntie already hates me and already wants to always whisper in my mom's ear, but my mom always wouldn't listen to her, that I'm the cause of everything, Auntie pounced, and now, you know, and now I can't do it anymore. Gonna save myself and save my dog. Am I doing it in an unethical manner? Technically, yeah. But under the circumstances, I don't care. That's why Joe wrote shit to me like, your mom is not in her right frame of mind. She hasn't really, he thinks, oh, she hasn't really rejected you. She's gonna go back to Auntie and then she'll change her mind. Yeah, but I can't do it anymore. Why do you even want me to, Joe? Don't think for a second I'm going to be doing it easily. I have to do it. It's just, I'm not going to be their little puppet while they try out an experiment. I'm, you know, whatever. I'm not doing it. Am I terrified that inevitably, probably, if I'm not here, just like Auntie accused me of, but Auntie always wants me to just do whatever Auntie wants me to do, and she's always like that, you know? She's done it before, I just can't think of examples to give you. One of them was before when I was talking about leaving. When it was really bad or something, I don't know. That's good, Laura. You're going to abandon your mom when she needs you in the most, or I don't know what the circumstance. Remember, it's all blending together because it's been too much. What I do know is my enemies condemn me, that I'm just like, whatever, you know? Because again, I'm blamed too because I have mental problems and did not and lacked the patience of a saint when it came to dealing with my very sick mother. But none of you know what it's like unless you've lived it. Unless you've lived it, you just don't know. You can't possibly know. It's like Selena said, it's just pure dysfunction. Because it's all caught up. It's not just me and my mom. It's me, my mom, and her sister and I don't get along, and that's an understatement, and don't trust each other, and that's an understatement, and etc., etc., etc. It's just too much. But I know this last time I shared the text with the woman who takes care of Angel, and I know Auntie was in the wrong, okay? We'd been pseudo-friends for enough time that she shouldn't turn on me just because I'm disagreeing with her or annoying her or whatnot. You know? I'm not calling her a fucking bitch. I'm genuinely concerned about my mom. You can't be going off the deep end every time your mom gets hospitalized, and you're so, whatever she said, you know, so you got to deal with your anger issues or whatnot. Remember, angry over what's happening to my mom, not over something happening to me or whatnot. And it really stresses your mother out. I know. Because you want to just sit back and let her fucking die from these meds, Auntie, because you think you bow down to that world. And I don't. And you can't stand me for it. And you won't tolerate any defiance on my part. What you view as defiance. Because remember, threats. I wouldn't let her just rip me apart, or I wouldn't bow down to her, and I wouldn't just kiss her ass. And then there were threats. Because I think I was talking about something about the church woman or whatnot, not having anything to do with me or something. Watch out, I'll be next. Good, go ahead. And then she's like, oh, then find your own rides then too. I will, Auntie. I'm not gonna be your friggin' punching bag. Learned my fucking lesson, that's for sure. I was stupid enough to think that she had changed and that she wouldn't just turn on me for no reason. Just because I'm annoying her, upset over what's happening to my mother, you know? Not like I'm whatever. Calling her names or all upset with her. I just wanted to vent and she didn't want to hear it. She wanted to be bothered. Stop texting me. You have mental issues. You're a nutcase. You're a head case. This is why you stress your mother out. Fuck you. Anyone who disagrees with you doesn't bow down to your way of thinking as a nutcase or a head case in your eyes, Auntie. The bottom line is, I simply wanted to vent to my pseudo friend about what was happening to my mom. You know, I knew I couldn't change it, but I wanted to vent, and she didn't want to hear it. That was the bottom line. She didn't want to hear it. Again, it was solely, she turned against me because I was expressing genuine concern about my mom and she didn't want to hear it. That's all. She didn't want to hear it. And when I refused to back down, that's when she turned on me, and leopard doesn't change its spot. She showed her true colors. I mean, you know, she could that easily do that when we were supposed to, remember, we were supposed to remain civil for the sake of my mom, but I crossed Auntie and she doesn't give a shit about us remaining civil for the sake of my mom. And she goes even further, and because now I've turned against her and had the nerve, even though it's okay if she tells me off and calls me a nutcase and a head case, God forbid I do anything similar, say anything similar to her, she goes and calls my mom and rants and raves to my poor mom, who's locked up in the mental house. My mom told me it didn't work, trying to turn my mom against me, and your daughters are this and your daughters are that. Meanwhile, what was this about? Me expressing genuine concern for my mom being over-medicated and being back in this hospital she wasn't supposed to be sent back to, and you not wanting to hear it. Meanwhile, you've touted yourself as being my pseudo-friend. We've played nice with each other, even above and beyond, all for the sake of my mom's mental health and well-being. So Auntie's full of shit. Believe me, people, I am telling the truth. There is no guarantee. Chances are it would not work out for very long at all, my mom living in Auntie's downstairs apartment. You think I'm just this ogre and my aunt has the patience of a saint when it comes to my severely mentally ill mom who's just getting worse and not better? You're kidding yourselves, people. Why do you think when my mom was really upset with Auntie and whatnot, and Auntie could say, okay, my mom's mentally ill, and my mom felt guilty about it, but she did write it to her niece, my cousin, you know? All this thing she hated about my aunt, and said, I wish she had died instead of the one that did die, you know? You think my mom would say that if this sister was a friggin' saint? I don't think so. Auntie can say, oh, your mom just says that because she's mentally ill, and yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, if she goes against you, she's mentally ill and doesn't mean it, but now she's going against me, and that's fine, because that's justified. Oh, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And sadly, Selena's wrong. I will be blamed if something happens. If my mom moves back in here, I will be blamed, because I am the horrible daughter that didn't stay here like a good little girl while Auntie conducted her little experiment to try to make her sister well again, and then something happens, my mom moves back in here, and something happens, and I'll be blamed. Believe me, I will. I will be blamed. I know it. I know it. It's just like Joe said many months ago. If you weren't there, you'd also be blamed. So you're blamed if you're there, and you'd also be blamed if you weren't there, Laura. Yep. Can't win. Cannot win. It's just pure dysfunction. You can't win. Count your losses and leave. You know? Selena told me I should have left a long time ago. Yet when I had suggested, when I had said to Auntie, you know, I'm thinking of leaving, Auntie accused me of, you're going to abandon your mom when she needs you, Laura. Good one, Laura. I wish I still had those texts to share with you. You just have to take my word for it. Remember, I read you those texts where Auntie told me I was a godsend to my mom and to Auntie, you know, basically saying it's so good that I'm there, whatever, and then when things got bad and I was talking about leaving, oh, that's when she'd be like, God, your mom needs you, you're gonna abandon your mom? That's really good, Laura, you know, sarcastic, and make me feel guilty, and, you know, can't win. Can't win. And then when Auntie doesn't like me anymore because I crossed her in her eyes, she tries to turn my mom against me, even when my mom's locked up in the mental hospital. So don't think for 1 second that my aunt didn't run over there and whatever. Now she's got a willing ear. Before, my mom didn't want to hear it when Auntie's saying that I'm the cause of all my mom's breakdowns. Remember, she said that to my mom and to me. When Auntie doesn't like me, she'll say that. When she likes me because I'm, you know, not crossing her, then it's a different story. Then we get the text that I read to you in the other video that she's, you know, don't worry, Laura, I'll defend you, and I'm on your side. You've been a godsend to your mom and to me. It's so sick, people. Do you understand how sick this is? Why does Joe even want me to stay in this madness? He's just because he thinks it'd be a big endeavor to leave, and in the end, I guess he's thinking your mom will change your mind and come back or whatnot, and et cetera, and you've got a good, yeah, I gotta get the fuck out of here. It wouldn't even matter at this point if my mom changed her mind, because she changes it back and she goes back and forth. Auntie goes back and forth between you're a godsend to your mom and me to telling my mom and me I've caused all my mom's breakdowns. Unfucking believable. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Auntie's now saying to the staff in this hospital. You know, it's sick what these people do to me. have the fucking text because I save them. Any of you who have an ounce of just intelligence, if you just read those, watch my videos and compare the friggin' text, you know? Text Auntie sent to me when she liked me versus text she sent to me when I had, you know, I defied her. By not bowing down to her and kissing her fucking ass like I'd been doing. Believe me, she would get her little digs in, I'd let her do it, etc., etc. But I wasn't going to back down when I was, I would let her walk all over me, get her little digs in during our little pseudo friendship that for the sake of my mom's mental health and well-being, you know, it was important for Auntie and I to remain civil to one another, and we even became pseudo-friends or whatnot. And the minute I crossed her, all hell broke loose, and that was the end of that. She showed her true colors. She called me a nutcase and a head case. Am I ever going to be her friend again or forgive her for that? No. So now we're back to the same thing, where she's bad-mouthing me left and right to my mom, who's not going to listen. And then, and I would never do that while my mom's in the mental hospital, but Auntie has no reservations about that. She'll do it while my poor mom's in the mental hospital, yet pretend that she's just so worried about her sister and wants to, you know, it's just sick. And, you know, now, my Auntie's an opportunist. I'm telling you, I don't care. I know that she is. And the thing is, I don't know what happened to her other tenants, but if they were still there, we wouldn't even be having this conversation, you know? It's so sick. And then, but she'll badmouth me to my mom even while my mom is locked up. You understand? That's what she'll do. It's so sick. I would never do that in a million years. Never would I call my mom on the phone while she's locked up in a mental hospital or visit with her. And when I talked to my mom, remember the hospital before, 2 hospitals ago, and my mom had just had that 105 temperature, been in that regular hospital, and what did Auntie do? All she did was talk about how horrible you are and badmouth you, Laura. She didn't even ask me how I was doing, That's why Joe said the definition of insanity is repeat the same thing and think you'll get different results. And now she's turning back to her sister, the savior, to save the day. Meanwhile, before, it's like she's telling staff, she's telling me, she doesn't really care about me. She just calls me up to bitch about you. My mom sees it. I can't do it anymore, people. Jesus fucking Christ. This is just beyond sick. I would never call up anyone who was locked up. They're going through hell being locked up in a friggin' nut house, and I'm going to call and vent about my problems. Never. I waited till my mom got out. But the whole thing is, Auntie had that whole thing, we need to, for the sake of your mom, we need to remain, not be enemies, and et cetera, and join forces to save your mom. And then afterwards, when we won the case, Auntie and I still remained civil and pseudo-friends and whatnot for the sake of my mother. But does Auntie really care about anything even remotely concerning for the sake of my mother? If she could just turn on me in a heartbeat? And call me a nutcase and a head case and expect me to just bow down to her and take it and not fight back? She doesn't. She doesn't. In the end, Trouble couldn't stand me. But I can guarantee you, it didn't matter if Trouble couldn't stand me in the end and our friendship ended. She never stopped. Even when I was giving Auntie the benefit of the doubt and saying, well, she says this and this is why this happened, Trouble never once wavered in her bad opinion of Auntie. Never once. Didn't matter how Trouble felt about me. I can guarantee you it wouldn't matter now. Just because Trouble doesn't like me anymore, she wouldn't suddenly change her mind and think Auntie's wonderful. She wouldn't. I know it. Because she's not like that. Doesn't matter what she thinks of me. She would still, if you asked her, she never had anything but a bad opinion of my aunt. based on everything that I said, you know. And even when I hadn't, it was after all the time and never talked to Auntie, and then we had to join forces to save my mom. Auntie was explaining why she had done what she had done, and I explained it all. I have all the emails to Trouble. I was explaining to Trouble this and that. Well, Auntie says this is why she did this and that, etc., etc., and maybe that's true, or maybe, you know, and Trouble didn't care. She didn't like Auntie, and that was that. She wasn't going to change her mind. And in the end, that was before my friendship with Trouble ended, and you know, she was telling me a leopard doesn't change its spots. No, Auntie's, we've been getting along, this, that, whatever. And then what happens? Auntie turns on me because I was bothering her with my genuine concern for her sister. I mean, it's sick. It's so sick. And that was the end of that. I was never going to have anything to do with this woman again. You know what I mean? And then just the other day when I didn't jump at the whatever, her little proposal, she turned on me again. But that didn't surprise me because I know how she is now. You know what I mean? It didn't surprise me, but I sure as fuck wasn't saying, oh yeah, come over here and get all my mom's stuff. You know, fuck you. You're not stepping foot in this house until my mom gets discharged and lets you in herself when I'm not here. I could have added you fucking cunt, but I did not. But yeah, don't think for 1 second I won't continue to be blamed for what happens to my mom, even if I'm gone. The only way I won't be blamed if I was dead. Dead. The proof of that is Auntie, when I didn't want it, just move then, just move out then. You know, that's what she screamed at me over the phone. After me, you know, when I'm saying stuff, well, if she doesn't want to live, you know, if she wants to live with you, wouldn't it make more sense? She's not ready to sell her house. Why can't you just do this, Laura? Why can't you put your mom first and think of your mom? I want to try to make my sister well again. Yeah. In your eyes, I'm a horrible person if I don't go along with it. So again, I will be blamed if anything happens to my mother, because I didn't go along with the little plan to have my mom live in Auntie's apartment and I stay here and pay all the bills. So if my mom moves back in here, then and something happens, it'll be my fault. See, if you're watching this, Selena, I will still be blamed. The only way I won't be blamed is if I'm dead. Then no one can blame me for anything. Otherwise, I'll be blamed. Joe recognized it a long time ago. If you weren't, you're being blamed for being there, but if you weren't there, you'd also be blamed for not being there for your mom. I mean, I know. Can't win. You think because I'm, you know, yeah, it's like I told my friend down the street, yeah, and that's to most people, I'm fucking my mom over, and they're not gonna, and, you know, whatever. But it doesn't matter. You think because my mom wants nothing to do with me, and she's got Auntie whisper in her ear, Auntie pounced. And why did I even tell Auntie? Maybe Auntie wouldn't even have ever known. I told Auntie because I'm still caring about my mom and thinking, God, if she's rejecting me, I thought she'd be rejecting Auntie too.